Yo, it's your boy, the General Brown Sugar, back again with another episode of the album review show. We're going to take a break from uh, the Grammy specials, where I pick the best of the Grammy nominees from the categories that I want to cover. So if you ain't been seeing that, why not? But I'll put the last two episodes up in those two corners there. We'll be returning to that very, very shortly. We're taking a break right now to review um, this album, which is Dawn Richards' Golden Heart, which is a debut album from her. If you don't know who Dawn Richard is, if you are in the United States, then Dawn Richard to you will be primarily from Danity Kane. If you are in the UK and did not watch Making the Band 3 back in 2005, Danity Kane were a manufactured band created by Sean Diddy Combs, um, who were very, very successful, and Dawn was selected to be part of that later. She was part of Diddy Dirty Money, which, at least for people in the UK, is where you probably heard of her the most. Um, but if you want to check out some Danny Kane, if you ain't sure about who they are, or even Diddy Money somehow passed you by, I'll put a link to a couple of videos up in them corners as well. So yeah, this is her first debut outing by herself since Diddy Money apparently disbanded back in 2011, according to Wikipedia. So Last Train to Paris was it for Diddy Dirty Money. So I don't know what Diddy's planning to do next, but he's obviously out on his own if he's releasing albums again anyway. So, which I hope he is, because Diddy Dirty Money was good. Um, Last Train to Paris, yeah, and Diddy Dirty Money was good. So yeah, this is Dawn Richard from Diddy Dirty Money out on her own with a album called Golden Heart. It is the first part of a trilogy, which goes uh, according to Wikipedia. Let me just check on that for you. Golden Heart, which is the first edition we'll be talking about today. Then it will go Black Heart, and then finally Redemption Hearts. Golden Heart is a 16-track album released on the 15th of January 2013. Worldwide release date. This was, at least digitally. If you want the physical copy in the United Kingdom or Europe, you're going to have to wait till about the 8th to the 13th of February for that to drop. I have my physical copy on pre-order in the United Kingdom where I am, and those are the kind of dates I'm looking at. I couldn't wait on the other hand though, and I was looking about on iTunes and saw that you could pick up Golden Heart right now for about £7.99. Only it'd probably be about $13 in the US, but I'm not sure. But in the US, you can pick it up physically right now, so you don't have to wait. Yeah. So Golden Heart. Golden Heart is set out to be a contemporary R&B album. Dawn Richard, according to Wikipedia, likes to portray it as progressive because of sort of the electronica sounding influences she takes, thanks to her favourite producer that I'm presuming worked with her and Diddy on Last Train to Paris, although I am not sure. If you know, drop a line, and if if you've got any facts, any particular albums that you think we should check out, that's how to get in touch. But yeah, she wanted it. She said it was going to be a progressive R&B. That's kind of sound that you need to be thinking of. And on the first listen, I would have to say that's exactly what it is. On first listen, it perplexes you. Well, it perplexed me because on one hand, um, coming off Last Train to Paris, which was the last real outing that I heard from Dawn Richard, because I haven't yet heard Armour On. I just went straight to GoldenHeart. Although I heard Armour On, her EP, has done equally as well and is blowing up along with that Drake track. And the sort of promo single and um, promo single slash single from GoldenHeart 86. So so she's been doing really well up until this point. GoldenHeart is released completely independently by Dawn herself. She signed a distribution deal just shortly after she left Bad Boy, so the girl's doing it for herself. Not sound too much of a cliche there. So yes, yeah. On first hearing it, it's perplexes you because on one hand you recognise the sort of sound from Last Train to Paris, and and yeah, you think, okay, so it's the same sort of interesting electronica sort of soul, funk, contemporary R&B beats that will be coming up. But no, not necessarily. You do have obviously hints of that because of the electronica inspired beats, but really it's an album full of straight up pretty much ballads. Um, so you're not going to get anything that's too particularly funky on the album, which isn't necessarily a bad thing because it wasn't it wasn't meant uh, it wasn't meant to be like that. It's not meant to be like Last Train to Paris. It's meant to be a interesting take on contemporary R&B, and that's what it is. Dawn did her own thing. That's clearly what she wanted to deliver, and she does it. It just it perplexes you at first because it changes up so much throughout the album. It goes in so many different directions. The tracks, you start to expect something, and when you don't necessarily get what you personally might be looking for, like I was, like a real standout funky track, and when I didn't get that, I was disappointed. Um, you think, where's it gonna go? Is it gonna be the next track? Is it gonna be the next track? When it never comes, you get disappointed. But if you keep listening to it, keep listening to the album in its whole entirety, you start to realise that it wasn't meant to be like that. Anyway, this is like the beginning of her. She's trying to say, this is me out on my own. This is my sound. This is just a facet of what I am and what I'm going to try and do. What you've heard me do before is me, but this is what I really want to do. I want to try and experiment with this, put this out, and then got more to come. And I think that's personally what I think she's trying to say with this album. And if you look at it like that, then you're a lot happier. That doesn't mean I'm not happy with the album because I completely am. That's what I like about it. I like that it confuses you. I like that there's no necessarily massive standout track that you can just think of like that. I like that you have to keep listening to the album to like really like appreciate it. The songs have to be listened to one after, one after the other. It has to be listened to as a whole project, really, rather than picking out one particular track. Um, and that's good because, for us, that's how albums were originally meant to be listened to. And for me, that's how GoldenHeart definitely is meant to be listened to as a package, as a whole journey. Um, it deals with a lot of themes: love, loss, you know, heartbreak, empowerment, all that. And to go through that as a proper journey, you need to be listening to it in its entirety. I mean, there are particular standout tracks. I mean, I'm going to go into my favourites right now, particular ones that I think uh, you should listen to. You've got track number 2, Return of a Queen. Uh, then you've got track 3, Goliath. Um, track 5, Glow, which is really progressive. It changes up quite a lot in its composition in that track. That's the track that really started to stand out to me to begin with. Pretty Wicked Things, which is self-explanatory what that's about. Um, and then Frequency is my second uh, my second favourite. If I had to pick two ultimate favourites, it would be uh, Frequency and GoldenHeart. But I will talk uh, in depth in a moment of why. But really, the tracks that you need to be that you can pick out that really stand out for me in the album personally. As I said, I Return of the Queen, Goliath, Glow, Pretty Wicked Things, Frequency, Ode to You, In Your Eyes, which is an amazing take slash cover of a Peter Gabriel track, and then of course you've got GoldenHeart, which is like a really nice surprise because the base of it is a really um, overused in a good way classical tune that's been in like loads of like adverts, films. I don't know its name, but if you do, get in touch and let me know. Comment the video and let me know, please, because I really can't think of its name. So really, on point, it has. Let's count the 2. It has 8 out of the 15 tracks. It has 8 that particularly stand out, and I would say are my favourites. So that's more or less half of the album. So I would say I'm a really big fan of it. I enjoy it. I enjoy the mood it puts you in because of its progressive contemporary outlook and sound. It's a really good chill out album. So it's if you're not particularly feeling happy or you're feeling angry, it could really chill you out. I reckon, and put you on an even keel. Or if you need to think things through, then GoldenHeart could definitely do that for you. It takes you on a really interesting journey. It's the most interesting album I've heard this year so far, and it's made me want to go back and listen to Armour On now, her earlier EP, see what that's like, if it's more of the same, and keep on the lookout for that those Black Heart and Redemption Heart albums when they come out in the future. So yeah, as I say, 8 tracks that particularly stand out to me, which, as I mentioned, them would have gone across the screen, and you can check them out on YouTube if I can find them to put them up. But my particular favourites on my particular favourite two, if I have to round it down, would be Frequency, because, as I said, I was looking for at least one track that was like proper, like funky, a bit a bit hip hop-ish in sort of sound where you could get up and dance to it, and Frequency basically delivers that. And then GoldenHeart, just because of that classical sample, it's like a beautiful song. It's, not just because of the sample, but lyrically it's well written and everything else. Like lyrically, the album is um, very, very good, well written, interestingly produced, interesting in a good way. As I say, it's the most interesting album I've heard of 2013, and I suggest you definitely should go pick it up if you've heard. If you've liked Dawn Richard from Danny to Kane, if you liked her from Diddy Dirty Martini, and if you've just heard that Drake track, or you've just heard about this album, then you need to check it out. As I say, it's available on iTunes for your digital copy. Get it on Amazon and in stores in the US, and you're gonna need play.com and amazon.co.uk for the UK physical copy if you want that, but you're gonna have to wait till the 8th, so at least the 8th to the 11th of January for that to arrive. But you can pick up the digital copy for $7.99, sorry, in the iTunes store right now. So on balance, it does what it says on the tin. She wanted to deliver a contemporary yet progressive R&B album. She does that. It takes you on a almost spiritual journey because of the way that it sounds and the mood that it puts you in. It leaves you wanting to listen to it again and again, even if that's just to really try to understand it a bit more. But there's nothing to understand. I think it's just me trying to overthink something that doesn't need to be overthought, because it's simple, and I think that's what makes it amazing. If you agree, then I say get in touch. But yeah, it does what it says on the tin. It's a great piece of contemporary and progressive work like she wanted it to be. It's definitely worth picking up and giving a listen. I'm interested to hear Armour On and those other two albums when they come out. I'll be waiting for bated breath for her to tour, because I'll definitely be going to see that. And yeah, I'll be keeping an eye. And fair play to her for flying the independent flag and getting out there and doing it yourself. So if you're watching this, Dawn, keep up the good work. And yeah, definitely go pick it up. I rate it 4 out of 5. It's a definite go buy. We'll be back very, very soon with my Jules Santana review. Yes, Dipset is back. Jules is back with his new mixtape, God Willing. So look out for that very soon. And then we've got ASAP Rocky as well. And we'll be returning to the Grammy reviews shortly after that. I've been your boy, the General Brown Sugar. This has been the Album Review Show. Thanks for watching. Peace.